Hi, my name is Isabel. Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be sewing this dress.
She got the white top, I wanna spend my life with you.
So for this project, I'm going to be using some knit fabric, jersey fabric. I have here a synthetic fabric. I'm pretty sure it's polyester. There is elastane in it, but I'm not sure of the exact composition because I bought it at a dead stock shop. For this project, any knit fabric with stretch will do. I recommend in particular using a cotton jersey with 5 or 8% of elastane. Okay, let's make the paper pattern. So for this project, I'm going to be combining two patterns of mine, namely the Ita skirt and the QTT. So there are some mild tweakings required. For the QTT, it's a ruched design, which is why there are 2 centimeters of seam allowances on the side, and we only want 1 centimeter of seam allowance, so I'm going to take 1 centimeter off in a bit. Also, if I lay my front and back on one another, you can notice that the back is larger than the front. It's a small sophistication of construction here. We've brought the side seam towards the front so as to make the ruching more visible. It's not really serving us here to combine it with the Ita skirt, whose side seams are like plainly on the side. But anyway, we're gonna make do with it. To combine the top and the skirt, we're going to line up the 2 parts at the waist notches. There are no waist notches indicated on the t-shirt, so I'm going to be considering that my bust line is a few centimeters below the armhole. I play by ear here, and that my waist is 22 centimeters below my bust line. And here I'm not playing by ear, this is the bust waist distance I was taught during pattern making class. So here's my waist dart, which I transfer to the back piece of the pattern. I continue with my Japanese ruler and I remove 1 centimeter of seam allowance on the sides. I take the skirt now. There is 1 pattern piece for the front and the back. I lay the skirt on the front of the t-shirt. I line up the pieces at waist notch. I'll retrace the curve on the side of the T to meet the curve of the skirt, and for this I'll use my curved ruler. You can do this roughly by hand, of course. And here is the new line. Now I take the back of the T, I line up the piece at waist notch level with the skirt. And I'll cut this line. This is me recovering the waist notch, which I had lost in the trash. So this is what I get. I find the side curves of the T pretty severe and a bit weird, but I expect some adjustments during the fitting session anyways. I'd rather correct the fit on the fabric than take chances on the paper pattern right now. And then when I'll cut my fabric, I'm gonna stick the skirt part first to the front, then I cut my fabric, and then I'm gonna take the skirt part and stick it to the back, and then cut the fabric again. And there is nothing to change, neither on the sleeves nor on the neckband, by the way. So I've cut the pieces of the pattern. I've actually decided when I was cutting my fabric to add 1 centimeter of width to the sides of the skirt only. And because I want to make a long dress, I'm also going to lengthen the skirt by 50 centimeters. Okay, and now we can start actually sewing. So I'm going to take my front and my back, I lay them right sides together, and I sew them at shoulder seam only. If you have a regular sewing machine, use the zigzag stitch. And this is what I get. Now I am going to add the sleeves, so pay attention to the notches to know where the front and the back are. Please note that the notches only aim at helping you know where the front and the back are. They're not meant to be exactly matched to the armholes, so you have to spread the fabric evenly yourself. I pin my sleeves, and I'm sorry we can't see much because of the pattern-rich fabric. If you want to see things better, you might go watch my tutorial about making the QTT all by itself. You sew. And this is what I'm getting. So now if I lay the dress flat, you can see the dress coming into shape. I'm going to lay the dress right sides together and also the sides starting at the armpits till the bottom. This is what I get. As expected, the back is bigger than the front. Okay, let's try the dress on. Fitting session. So the butt is fine, the waist is fine, but as expected, the entire top part is too big. We can see how loose the back is in particular, and I don't want this at all. So I'm gonna narrow the top part from the sleeves till the waist. I'll basically remove the overlocker seam I just made by chopping it off directly with my overlocker, which means I'm gonna be removing like 7 millimeters on each side, and I'll try to dress on again. So here are the victims. I actually went at it 3 times. I removed 7 millimeters from the sleeves till the waist twice, and for the last time I cut off 7 millimeters, but I started under the armhole, so at armpit level, so I didn't narrow the sleeves as they were tight enough in my opinion. And this is what you can see here with my overlocker threads starting under the arm and finishing at the waist. And so once I was satisfied with how tight the dress was, I moved on to the neckband. So check that you have transferred all the notches, fold right sides together and sew with a straight stitch. I used my regular sewing machine here. There you go. I open the seam allowance and I fold wrong sides together. I pin in place. And I pin on the neck hole right sides together following the notches. It's not a very easy step depending on how slidey, slippery and thin your fabric is. Once it's done, you sew the 3 layers together. And this is what you get. So for the hems, I first made the sleeve hems. I folded the fabric on 1 centimeter and I sewed with a zigzag, and I did the same for the bottom hem. And this is what I have now. And that's it, the dress is done. If you liked it, go check out my other patterns for the spring-summer season. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest if you want to be in the know of what I do. See you soon. Take care. Kiss.